pretty much is west of I-75, at least as far as North Florida is concerned, and pretty much to the west and northwest of the Okefenokee, with those up around Waycross, Blackshear, Alma. You're right on the fringes of the steadier rains. But as we mentioned, for those of you with concern for students out to the west, I-10 is fine, but secondary roads will increasingly become a problem. Pretty much think Tallahassee westward. That's where the flood watches and warnings are in effect, and there's a lot more in the way of precipitation to come. Look at all of this offshore, and that's still going to come ashore. But what about here in northeast Florida and southeast Georgia? More clouds than rain, but I do want to emphasize we will continue and do now have some thunderstorms out there. Notice northwestern Putnam County going to work into southwestern Clay County. Also Union, Bradford, Baker going to work into Columbia County. We could have a few other brief downpours out there this evening, but again, more in the way of clouds and very tropical, as I think the satellite picture almost paints the picture of where the moisture has come from deep in the Caribbean and really even the tropical Pacific, then wrapping up into and around the tropical storm. When I say it's asymmetrical, notice this is where the lowest pressure center is. You see the swirl there? And yet the bulk of the clouds are to the north and to the east. A system that at least has the potential to become a hurricane. You'd see activity wrapping all the way around the center and anticyclonic outflow. We don't see that with the system, and that's just another reason why we don't think it's going to become a hurricane. Certainly not a significant hurricane. Here's the forecast track, and this is why really so much emphasis is more on the rain. Look at nearly all of the heavy rains are off to the east of the system, and until this finally gets ashore and heads up to the Arklatex, then the heavy rains will be a problem, especially from the parishes of Louisiana through coastal Mississippi, Alabama, and then the Florida Panhandle over to about Tallahassee. Meanwhile, tropical storm warnings extend all the way west to just west of Galveston there in the upper Texas coast. So what about for us? Well, computer models, I think, do a pretty good job of showing us on the fringes, meaning we're not going to have severe flooding, but there will be some occasional downpours, a greater likelihood for those of you out toward the Suwannee River Valley, northwestern portions of the Okefenokee versus the coastal counties where, well, many more of us live. Tomorrow, so a little hazy sunshine today, even a little more in the way of sunshine tomorrow. Remember, boaters, salt life interest, the only gale force concerns are farther out to the west. Think pretty much Panama City farther out to the west. So a little more sun tomorrow. And by the way, summer officially begins tonight, 24 minutes after the midnight hour. Yes, summer is just beginning. Full summer sun will be into the area on Thursday. Will still be tropical. So it's going to be some hot, humid weather developing. In fact, by this weekend, with highs in the middle 90s and still tropical air, heat index near about 100. We're going to take a pause and we'll be right back.